Yo, what is going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. For this video, we're going to jump into the mining smithing beta and have a look at the Masterwork Armor, how it compares to Malevolent, and a brief look at the best weapon you can make with the mining smithing beta and how that compares to other weapons. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video. Let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, so I didn't actually know, in my last video I said I was going to make the Masterwork Armor. Turns out there's this little silhouetted, half-made dwarf over here. You right click him and he's as a free item shop, and he's got pretty much all the Masterwork Armor right here for you. He also has like 1,000 of each type of ore, and I already collected all of them, but looks like it slowly grows back. It's got about 7 on each of them. But anyways, I was going to make the Masterwork Armor, but this kind of makes the process obviously a lot quicker, because I could just get it for free from here, in case you didn't know about it. At least now you know. This kind of ruins the mining portion of the beta for me personally, and obviously the smithing in terms of the Masterwork smithing portion of it, because you don't really have to go to different mining spots to test out how mining is. You go to one spot, and it's not like it changes for different mining spots. The concept is identical regardless of the mining spot that you go to. So since all the ores are freely available here, kind of sucks in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. I want to talk about the Masterwork Armor, so we're going to grab them real quick. So we'll grab one of each of the Masterwork, and this is the tier 90 version, by the way. And this right here, the trimmed version, is the tier 92 version, so we're going to grab that one as well. And I want to compare it to the Torva, just so we get an idea of how that works. It's not a hard process to make this yourself. It is really lengthy, by the way, though. I hear people talk about somewhere around 16 hours to make it. That's assuming you have all the materials from scratch. It doesn't assume you mine those materials, though, but we're going to go ahead and grab some Malevolence real quick. I think I said Torva earlier, but Malevolence. So put these plate body right next to each other. So Masterwork has 500 armor, 35 strength bonus, 535. Identical. So Malevolent's identical, although Malevolent does have the prayer bonus, so it has that above it. But you basically be able to make yourself something identical to Malevolent. Let us compare it real quick to the Trimmed Masterwork version. So 534, we have 526 and 36. I'm sure you would imagine that's pretty much what it's like. Identical to the tier 92 upgrades for the ranged and magic from the elite dungeons that we got earlier this year. It's nothing new. Pretty much the stats are uniform regardless of the style. But I think they might add a set effect. They were talking about adding a set effect to the ranged and magic from elite dungeons, so I can't imagine why they wouldn't add some set effect to the tier 92 melee, just to make it a little bit more desirable, because this is a lengthy process on top of whatever cost if you happen to buy the materials yourself to make this. So to offset that work, I imagine they do have to have some kind of effect to make that, a much more desirable thing to get. It is, by the way, a augmentable piece of armor, so you'll be able to add your perks onto it as well, so you'll be able to just swap that over or whatever the case may be. So that's interesting. I did take the time, by the way, and I wanted to bring this into this video real quick, to make the Elder Rune two-hander +5, just to show you off the stats. This is the damage and the accuracy, and we're going to go ahead and compare that to the augmented Noxious Scythe. As you can see, it clearly does not stack up to the Scythe, although it is still considered a level 90 weapon. Now, I don't have anything to compare it to find out the stats personally, but I did look up a couple of things on the RuneScape Wiki, and I'll quickly show on screen here. The Rune two-handed sword, or the Elder Rune two-handed sword +5, has identical stats to the Mizuyari Spear, which is a tier 85 weapon. So although it is tier 90 to make, and I presume tier 90 to wield, it only counts in terms of stats as a tier 85 weapon, probably not to step on the toes of, for example, Noxious Scythe. So do keep that in mind. The highest weapon you'll be able to make with the mining smithing rework is tier 85. That does mean that if you're making the dual wield weapons, that it actually competes with the Tetsu weapons that you get from ports because they are pretty much identical, although you won't have to do all that port stuff and unlock these scrolls, etc., and get the plates or whatever it is to make the actual weapons. You can just make it through mining smithing with some Elder Rune. It doesn't really necessarily make those obsolete, however, because with the Elite Dungeons 1, they did come out with upgrades to the Tetsu weapons to boost them up from 85 to 88. So they'll still have a use, but if you just want the 85 weapons, then you have an alternative here with the Elder Rune plus 5 weapons. Anyway, that's pretty much it. It's pretty short and sweet. Not much more to say about that. Masterwork Armor, just to touch on real quick, will be tradable though. So it's interesting to see how that's going to play into the market when those prices eventually settle down. I know they're going to be high in the initial, but over time they're going to find their nice price niche. So we'll see what that is. Anyways, that pretty much wraps it up. I just wanted to quickly show that off. I did mention it in the last video, so I just wanted to follow up on it. So, let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. I'm going to wrap up the video there. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Peace.